What is up, Birdland? Stephen Heckman here for the final strike, brought to you by the Baltimore Battery, and we have another great show underway tonight. Even though the Orioles were decimated in a 4-game series by the Cleveland Guardians, either way, we're gonna have some fun here, and we brought in one of our good friends, Nathan from the Full Count Chaos, and he's gonna wrap some Orioles baseball with us and try not to put a storm cloud over everybody's day.
Right. We'll try not to start crying on the mic. No, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you. Regardless where the Orioles are at, it's always fun talking O's.
Amen. Would you like to introduce yourself to the crowd for those who don't know you?
Yeah, again, unfortunately, do I host an Orioles podcast right now, 2026, April, I say unfortunately. But yeah, you can reach me, Full Count Chaos, anywhere on X, Instagram, all the podcasts, fullcountchaos.com. I'm there talking Orioles. Come join me.
And we're talking Orioles, and hopefully we get back to talking what 2023 and 2024 brought us, because at least it was postseason baseball. But I don't know. We did not look good in this Cleveland series. First game kind of wasn't too bad. Second game kind of was exciting and kind of, I thought flipped a light switch for the team. Maybe it was going to push us over the hump. It showed we're in every game, but then the last two games, not sure exactly what happened, but our best is not doing quite good enough.
No, I feel like we've been having the same conversation since 2024. We keep thinking they're going to turn it around. Oh, we see a game. Oh, and then they just crap the bed again, and it's starting to be a concern. Groundhog Day. Here we go again. And after a while, it's when do we have the conversation? This is just who they are.
But is it really just who they are? I mean, we revamped the bullpen, which is going into this series, had the fifth best bullpen in the AL. Starting pitching has started to look good. Trevor Rogers kind of shaky his last two starts, but I've got no doubt he'll fix it. But Bradish has been looking better. Boz has been looking better. Even Bassett, his last time out, looked better. And Kramer didn't do so bad yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
pitching
hear you.
wise.
I think I was just specifically. I think I'm still angry of watching the series of how bad the offense was. I let me take a step back there. I was only speaking offensively there. So let me let me just start with that. But no, I agree with you. The bullpen, starting pitching, yeah, Trevor Rogers, he's coming back down a little bit to reality. But did you think really he was gonna, put the numbers up that we saw a little bit there in 2025? So yeah, no, I can agree with that. And I've been impressed with the bullpen a little bit lately. But the offense is what was on my
Well,
mind at that moment.
today was the first time a right-hander other than Tyler Wells and Albert Suarez has given up a run in the bullpen
Yeah.
since the White Sox series, ironically. And it's funny the White Sox keep coming up with the Orioles name near them, in all these discussions, because as you pointed out earlier, we're not far from the White Sox in strikeouts.
No, it's bad right now.
Offensively.
Yeah, right. I mean, we saw it in the Cleveland game, series. I just don't know what the approach is, and you see a team like Cleveland for the past 4 days, and you see a team like the Orioles for the past, 4 days in this series. Um, Night and day, man. Night and day with just the full count
It is.
approach, 2 strike approach, shortening their swing, going with the pitches, choking up a little bit. They're just sticking their bat out there to just get a little bloop to get the guy over to third. Like, it's just night and day right now. And it's just frustrating because we were
It
getting the same stuff last year too. It's just frustrating.
What's bad is it seems like only 2 players in our lineup can get going at once, and Gunnar
Yeah.
Henderson, he's been it this year. He's looks like the Gunnar of old. First part of the season, it was Tyler Ward, who was almost taking every count to 3-2 and hitting doubles or walking. Now it's, Jemiah Johnson, who I'm calling JJ 2.0 because he reminds me of, honestly, JJ Hardy when he first came to the Orioles. Basically just impressed you every day with something different.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't get by with just 2 out of your 9 members of your lineup hitting.
No,
it's just not gonna work.
and it's frustrating too because Gunnar right now, I know you say it's a Gunnar from old. He's batting 204 with a 763 OPS. So,
He is.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Yeah, Gunner's hitting 320 right now,
Oh,
and he's
no.
getting all," but
No.
you know what I mean? Like, it's he runners in scoring position, he's batting 200 with 7 strikeouts so far, and I know it's still early, but I get what you mean about Gunner, be especially when you compare him to the other guys in the lineup, for
Well,
F's sake.
he's hitting late in the game.
Yeah,
He's
he
tied
is.
games or turned games around.
I
He's
don't wanna say
he
anything bad about Gunner. I wanna
no,
quickly move
no.
on from making it sound like I'm
I just
talking
wanna
bad about Gunner.
I wanna kinda get that out. He's being the
Yeah.
late game superstar that we need him to be. Let me
Yeah,
that
yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, no. Pete Alonso, people keep asking me, "Hey, does this guy make you nervous?" And, I kept saying, "No, he's just pressing, he's just pressing, he's just pressing."
yes.
Ye Yeah, I don't know. In the month of April in 2025, I'm not mistaken, I think he had like a 358 average, 1.168 OPS. He did strike out 27 times in April last year. He's already at 27 strikeouts this year. So, I don't know. Strikeouts are just contagious, man, with the Orioles right now. So for Pete, I don't know.
Yes.
You hear about the declining bat speed. Um, I think a lot of Oriole fans thought Pete would have like 100 home runs by now. I don't know. It's just from top to bottom. It's really
Scary.
it's really scary. Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's too early because these are the things that we saw in 2024, 2025, and 2026.
Sadly, it is, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that's frustrating to me is, I look at this series, 48 strikeouts across 4 games. That's 12 strikeouts a game. And when I look at things like that, I couple years ago, I came up with this new metric on I don't even know if you wanna call it a metric, but basically, it takes the amount of times a team strikes out, walks, reaches on an error, um, gets a hit, and runner stranded, and it basically clumps it into a number, divides it down, and you get a certain number, and usually the higher the number, the team that's got the higher number wins. And it worked. I played with it for a year through 2022 and 2023, and 9
Okay.
times out of 10, the team with the higher number was the one who's winning. And the way I see it is like 48 times in a series. That's 12 games, a 4-game series. That's 4 innings of doing absolutely nothing. You basically just might as well take 12 batters and sit them down for 4 innings because that's what it's the equivalent of.
No.
You're
Did you
giving
give that
away
stat a name, by the way? Did you, like, an acronym, or what do you got over there?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay. That's pretty cool,
It's
man. I like that.
it
That's neat
it
that you came up with that, but, uh, it's brutal. Yes, we could sit here and talk about the bullpen. Sure, yeah, the bullpen looks good. They look good, yeah. I
let's just
coming
wait
into
for the
this
year.
season, I thought the bullpen was gonna be an absolute nightmare, but they're holding it down. They look good. Um, so again, hats off, but if you don't win, it's hard for fans or whoever's
Yes.
talking baseball or Orioles baseball to sit here and be like, "Let's talk about what's working." You know what I mean? It's kinda like you just wanna vent, and not only that, try to figure out why it's happening. Again, not to bring a dark cloud over the conversation, but we could get as crazy as talking, look at the draft picks all the way, in the past few seasons, and
Yeah.
2019 through 2022, look, Jackson Holiday, I'm not gonna the jury's still out on him. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but, these prospects that come up that we've been counting on lately who are, Colton Cowser. I think, I don't know. I've seen enough of that guy. It's really concerning. And, is there a player development issue with the Orioles? Ooh, you can get real deep into that conversation if you want. So I don't know what's going on right now, man. It's
No,
frustrating.
it is frustrating. Cowser enjoyed 2 good years of decent baseball outside of a long-term injury, and now it just looks like he couldn't hit anything that was less than 97 miles an hour.
The word
And
got around
I'm
the league. Oh, this guy can't hit anything, secondary pitch. So he's up there just guessing
yep,
like, he is completely convinced that every pitch now is gonna be an off-speed pitch. So his mind is just completely in the clouds at this point. You got an 0-2 count on Cowser, forget about it. Is he
yep.
gonna get into a couple every now and then? Sure he is. He's got power. But come on, man. Runners in scoring position, he's got a 91 average with 7 Ks so far. 2025, he batted a 219 with runners in scoring position. He's a career 214 hitter. Like,
He's
what are we
not
talking about here, guys?
he's not a top 5 lineup hitter. He basically
No.
is better in your 7 and 8 spot. Um, but the thing that's bothering me the most with him is his defense is not bad, and we've had Blaze Alexander, I hate to point him out today because he's been so good for us in so many other ways,
That was a tough
but
play today.
it was a very tough play, and then the other day it was Wade Wilson in left field. Both those plays have now those 2 plays have now contributed to runs that are costing us games
Are you talking about the Wade Wilson, flop in,
in left
or no,
field.
oh, wait a minute, what, yeah, are you talking Camden Yards or the, Cleveland series?
The Camden oh, well, I'm just pointing out Camden Yards series in left field where he dropped the fly ball that
Okay,
they
do me a
gave up.
favor and go back and watch that again if you haven't, and if anyone's tuned in right now, if you have to agree with me, that was one of the most BS flops I've ever seen in all. I mean, that's almost like soccer kind of flop. When he dropped the ball, he did the kind of thing in Little League when you're like, "Oh, you pretend you're hurt and you hit the wall and you fa," it's
Yep.
like, I don't know, I had to throw that out there. I don't mean to, kick him while he's
Hey,
down, but that
no,
was
I
one of
would've
the worst flops, wall flops I have ever seen in my life. That was so bad.
that led to 2 runs, which they,
Yeah.
should have been unearned. I don't know how it was overturned into a triple. I really don't because I'm sorry, when the ball goes in my glove and I drop it, that's an
Yeah.
error.
I know, that was a weird one. Yeah, I don't know why they're see that those little moves right there are very strange because you had guys like Cowser, Taveras, and Beavers sitting on the bench that day. Like, why are we now, and we're only in April, are we doing are we doing tryouts here? Like, what are we doing? So,
We're
that's why a lot of conversation right now is starting to be like, okay, Albie's a new manager. We heard the rumor was coming in here. He's just, he plays his best guys. That's all he wants to do. He's not going to look into analytics much. Elias has his hand in this. Again, I don't know. I know a lot of people are just assuming, but these lineups, Rodriguez batting cleanup over and over, like, what is
that guy
happening
moves
here?
so slow. I saw him running in right field the other day. I don't know how he's an outfielder.
So either.
I'm sorry. I use a cane to walk, and I can move faster than he can.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
There were so
I
many
give
jokes for the next 24 hours I was getting in texts from friends of making fun of how slow he is. It was so bad, so
I
bad.
will give Albie the benefit of the doubt. Him pinch hitting Rodriguez for Samuel Basallo the other night did work out,
It did,
but,
yeah, sure.
you know,
Yeah,
blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then too.
absolutely, 100%. But, 7 AB, 0 average. Yeah, he and triple, we get it, he mashed in the minors. Okay, but at 44 career games, what was it, in 2024 to 2025, he was hitting 176 with 2 home runs and 15 RBIs, and apparently, we're putting him in cleanup because of why? He's a big boy? He's supposed to be a left-handed masher? I mean, what are we doing here? That's what I mean, like, how much is Alvarez involved in all of this? Because there's
Well, see,
no way, like, a young guy who comes up at I don't know. Again, I don't know Alvarez, that much, but come on, he's gotta be smarter than this.
I was looking at the bench the other day when we had Wilson, Rodriguez, and, Blaze Alexander in the outfield, and once again, not knocking Blaze, the guy's been good for us.
Sure.
He's better in the corner outfield spots, that's what he's played in the past.
Agree, yep.
That's why I'm not gonna be hard on him what happened in center today. But even the way he came across the ball to throw it home, he stepped back before catching the ball and then went to throw it home.
Yeah,
Your all your momentum's gone.
yeah,
Not to mention the ball was 40 feet away from the plate.
yeah.
But, I was looking at the bench the other day. You had Blaze Alexander, Wade Wilson, and Rodriguez in the outfield. And then I'm looking on the bench and you have Cowser, you have Beavers, and
Mhm,
you have Tavares.
mhm.
Like, why do we have 6 outfielders on the team
Yeah.
and not one infielder is on the bench? The only infielder on the bench was our catcher, Huff.
I mean, it's what you keep saying, every time I have conversations with the Orioles, at least once or twice in the conversation, somebody's saying, "Make it make sense." And that's what I'm doing right now. It's like, make it make sense. Like, what is happening? Because it's weird because when you and I are, it's hindsight, right? Fans can sit back and say, "Oh, well, you did that wrong and you did that wrong because it didn't work out." We're not talking like, "Oh, you shouldn't have brought that guy in," or "Oh, you shouldn't have pinched it." We're just stating the obvious here. That's
Exactly.
what's weird about it. Like, we're fans, we know baseball, we study it just like anybody else. But these conversations we're having, it's not like, "Oh, stop blaming him. It's hindsight that he brought so and so in from the bullpen." That's not what we're saying. We're just having
No.
obvious conversations about what
Look,
who should be playing and who shouldn't, where and
Elias had
when. Yeah,
Elias had probably his best offseason since he's been with the Orioles, and he came in November of 2017.
I agree with that.
I will not knock him on his draft picks. I will not knock him because he was right up front. We are gonna have be bad for a while, which we were for 4 or 5 years, and then we exploded onto the scene. But then it's kinda like all anybody wanted to say is we needed to have better pitching, better pitching, better pitching. Our hitting was fine, and it was at that time. Our hitting, we were actually producing offensively.
Yeah, that's
We
oh,
just
yeah.
were losing games 7-5 or 8-6 or 9-8.
Mhm.
Now we actually have some decent pitching and a good bullpen, and we're now barely scoring a run a game.
Well, the league has figured us out, and we don't know how to adjust, apparently, is what's happening. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the only thing I can come up like, what happened since then? That's what's so concerning, like, why all of a sudden, did the entire league figure you guys out, and you guys
Well,
just don't know how to adjust with
we got
offense?
rid of the batting coaches from the previous 2.5 seasons and brought in new ones,
I
and yet
know,
they
and the
came in.
batting coach conversation, I mean, you gotta agree as well, it's starting to get old, you know what I mean?
It is. First of all, 2 batting coaches to me is ridiculous.
Yeah,
You have 1 batting coach. It's his philosophy and that's it. When you have 2
yeah,
batting coaches, you're gonna get mixed philosophies,
yeah,
and I read Colton Cowser's been working with both these batting coaches, but how do we know they're telling him the same thing? Is he working with them together? Is he working with them separately?
let's hope
And
they get along, right.
I mean, it's
And and to piggyback off
ridiculous,
of
but then I'm
talking
gonna hear and
go ahead, yep.
go ahead. No, go ahead, my friend.
I'm sorry, but no, I was gonna say, to piggyback off of Wilson talking to the outfield, just a stat I remembered, out of his 7,000 career innings on defense, 6,000 of them have been in the infield. So
Yeah.
you see a little stat like that, even just that being a fan, okay? You're not a manager, you've never managed it. Just you see stuff like that and you're going, "What are we doing?" So I don't know, but I agree with you. Yeah, the 2 coaches, batting coaches, I don't know, is that normal? I mean, I'm gonna look that up and find out that, 80% of, teams have more than 1 batting coach. I don't know, but seems a little odd. Sure. What
There you
else
go.
is odd on this team? My god, man.
You get Jacob Calvin-Meyer with 3 takeaways today. Orioles have been one of the worst defensive teams in baseball, which that is true. Our defense is lacking at times.
Awful.
Like, that play today
Fundamentals.
Yep, the play between Pete Alonso and Trevor Rogers today, Trevor Rogers kinda was chuckling when he walked back to the mound, and I'm sorry, to me, that's frustrating. I was a pitcher. I'm left-handed, so I know that play is easier for a left-hander to fall off the mound and go to first than it is for a right-hander, because a right-hander has to reposition altogether. A lefty just has to turn and run.
Right.
Pete Alonso in the past has had problems making that throw, and he's made those throws pretty well this year. Trevor Rogers just completely botched the play.
I know, and Ben broke it down of, he should have started going towards the line and run up the line. Yeah, that was a weird angle Trevor took. I mean, these are just fundamentals, and Albanese coming on the Orioles, you heard that these were things that he was going to focus on. Just the fundamentals of baseball. It's I mean, if I had something heavy in my hand at that moment of the play you're talking about, I would have thrown it right through the window. I just these little things, and that runner scored.
Yep, that's exactly right.
It's
It's
the little
4
things
mistakes.
that will make you lose games like that, and, it's just what how do you what do you do to figure it out? Is it just bad baseball, I guess? I don't know.
There you go. This is a regular fan, right here. When was the last time an Orioles beat writer asked a real question about their hitting approach and philosophy? These are regular people just watching a game.
Yeah,
If they're picking this up, you can't tell me that the beat writers and the announcers and the hitting coaches and even Albie is not picking this up.
it's
There
so
is
funny. Yeah,
something
yeah.
lacking.
Yeah. These beat writers and the people who have a pass to get into the Orioles, to ask questions, it's been like this since the day I can remember being a little kid. They're never going to ask the hard questions, and the people who do ask the hard questions, it just seems like you never hear from them anymore, or they get their passes taken away. I don't know. I've given up years ago reaching out to, people in the press to say, "Ask the hard questions." They are gonna ask some questions here and there, but they're never going to ask the question like, you know what I mean? Like, the really hard, dramatic, put them on the spot kinda questions.
There you go.
It's just not gonna happen. I mean, it's just I've always told people that, like, you gotta give that up. I'm sorry, I don't mean to I'm not trying to crap on the people who do that for a living, because I get it. They don't wanna piss off the coaches just to make the fans happy, or
Mm.
the managers, I mean. But, like, we're throwing crazy stats out there. Let's look Saturday night real quick. I just wanna throw this out there. 3, 4, and 5 hitter, Alonzo Beavers and Cowser, 0 for 12 with 11 strikeouts. The last major league team to have 11 Ks from those spots was 2017. You know what team it was? The Yankees, which is kinda funny. Um, May 21st, 2017 Yankees, it almost softens the blow a little bit. It's like, "Oh, yeah, Yankees." But,
Well, they'll
we
soften
just
the
keep
blow.
seeing is this a again, we keep having the question, is this just who they are? Because I know
Eh,
when, people say, "Oh, they're gonna come around, they're gonna come around, they're gonna come around." What signs? What are you seeing? Like, Pete Alonso, he could be in the argument of he'll come around. Why? Because we've seen his resume.
exactly.
Give me other players right now who are struggling where you can convince me and say, "Dude, don't worry, they're gonna come around because of X, Y, and Z." There's not many in this lineup right now to say,
Our
"Oh, they'll come
batting
around."
our batting average as a team is 230.
Yeah.
Our OPS as a team is 691. We can't even hit 700 OPS.
Yeah.
We have struck out a total of 210 times. The only teams ahead of us, the Angels, the Rockies, and the Mariners.
Oof. That's what
And
I mean,
below
like, convince me why they're gonna turn it around. Again, Samuel Basallo, a guy like that, look, I think he's gonna wind up hitting, like, 10 home runs a month. I mean, that
oh,
guy just
eventually,
he's
yeah.
gonna be a beast, but, in my opinion, I think. As long as he stops
But
going up and swinging at everything,
that's
but he'll work
true,
on
because
that.
when he hits the ball, it goes a mile.
Oh my god, he hit one, like 437 feet the other day or, a couple weeks ago. I mean, my god, the guy has strength. So a guy like that, yes, okay, but, give me other than
It
Gunner
is
and like, give me somebody where you'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, they'll be fine." That's what's frustrating. And then you see things you're talking about with the bullpen doing well, which I agree 100%. I'm impressed with the bullpen. And then you see Andrew Kittredge 16.62 ERA and 5 relief appearances on his rehab. His velo is down 1 mile per hour today. Today it was what, 6 hits, 5 runs, 0 walks, 2 strikeouts. Oh my god, can someone just give us some good news? The only good news conversation that I'm kind of excited about is bring up Bradfield. He's not gonna be a guy that's gonna hit 300 or anything like that,
no, but he's
but
struggling hitting bad in minor leagues. That's the bad thing is
I'm
he's
talking
it
defense and using him as a pinch runner. If even if he bunts and gets on base, I mean, just, stolen bases,
I mean,
something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but you're right. He is struggling, but, you're seeing highlights the other night of him this season putting down bunts, stealing bases, how fast he is on the base paths.
the guy's phenomenal, but,
Yeah.
we've had fast people before, and they wouldn't bunt to save their soul.
I mean,
Jorge
yeah,
Mateo.
Jorge Mateo. I mean, yeah.
That guy should have been bunting 3 times a game, and he would have been on base for 2 of them.
That's so true. That's so
I mean,
true.
it
Oh, it's a
it
it's
it
it's a brutal one, and, like I said, I mean, you really wanna start getting deep into the, prospects and between 2019 and 2022 draft picks, it's like, things just they almost are starting to feel like
well,
the majority's just not it's just not working out, the majority still.
it's bad luck. I mean, you look at Adley Rutschman. Adley was having a pretty decent year
I
before his
know,
ankle started
I
bothering him.
know. He really was, yeah.
Tyler O'Neill, he actually was surprisingly doing decently, not great offensively, but he was playing decent defense.
Done with
He was
them,
given
yeah.
pretty decent at bats, but he gets sick. He gets sick to the point he dehydrates himself and falls and gets a concussion.
How does that like, what are you taking
Well,
that's making your biceps look like they are right now? I can guarantee you that probably has something to do with it. 7 out of 9 seasons since 2018, he's been on the IL. I'm done with him. I'm done with Tyler. But Adley, 295 before he got hurt. I mean, that's what I mean,
Exactly.
like, it's a
Now,
frustrating season.
good news, Jackson Holiday's restarted his rehab, so, the wrist soreness, I don't want anybody to freak out, that's normal when you break a hamate bone.
Sure,
So,
sure.
it was just a little bit of time off, get his
Yeah,
strength back. Dietrich Enge, he started his rehab assignment. Keegan Aiken started his rehab assignment, which is just more reinforcements for our bullpen. And,
which is
we
ironic,
have
the bullpen's not the problem.
exactly. That's the point I was getting ready to make.
Yeah,
We have more pitching depth than we've ever had. And what's sad is based off the offseason we had, we are more prepared to deal with the injuries that happened last year, this season. And yet,
yeah,
what am I missing?
yeah. And I'm not even excited, in getting like June, July, I'm not even excited for when Jordan Westberg gets back. Like, it's almost like I think,
I feel
we need to have that conversation
bad
about him.
for
We
him,
really
though.
do. What's that?
I feel bad for him because he is so 110% when he's with us,
Oh,
and the injuries are the flukiest injuries he could have.
I know, but when there's smoke, there's fire. It's like after a while, you're like, the guy's just injury prone, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
guys we
but
could get on the list over the past 20 years who could have been one of the best, but they just couldn't get out of their own way with the injuries, and I think Jordan's one of those guys, but man, I always think if he was always healthy, he was 100%, he would be one of the greatest Orioles hitters that we've, almost, top 5 ever seen, in my opinion. Just I don't know.
285, 290, 20, 25 home runs, and he
Oh,
plays phenomenal defense. He's better defender than Gunnar is. That's why they were moving up through the ranks together. He honestly is a better defense.
it
He
hurt
kind
so bad talking about Jordan Westberg. I just
of
don't anymore. I just don't. That's what I mean, like, at this point, even late in the season, Jordan's coming back. Alright.
for how long? Well, that's the same thing you do with Tyler O'Neill. How long is he gonna
I know.
stay
Zach
healthy?
Eflin,
You
yeah, I
know?
mean, right.
And unfortunately, Ryan Mountcastle's the other one. This is
And he
his
was
3rd
starting
year
to
in a
catch
row,
a
he's
little bit of
missing
fire.
60 or more days.
Yeah.
Yep. 3rd year in a row, he's missed 60 or more days. I mean, we kept him around for what?
The only good
I
thing
like
I
the guy, don't get me wrong.
yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, the only you know, I the it's not like they've only had 4 wins this season, and everybody else in the divisions, 8, 9, 10, 11 win. We're kinda still hanging on with everybody.
We were actually in 2nd place 3 day or 5 days ago.
I
That's
know.
that's the sad part. I mean, we're still in 3rd place after today, 3 games out of 1st.
I know. That's the only bright side I'm looking at with, Jackson coming back, Holiday, alright, you wanna talk Tyler O'Neill? Sure, let's talk Tyler O'Neill. But, yeah,
Hey, 32 million dollars left for the next 2 years on him. We're stuck
I
with him.
know. I don't have enough, uh, antacids to
Fired.
talk about this right now. Um, but yeah, so at the bottom line, when you see the Orioles play like they have, and I understand why I'm seeing fans say, "This is just who they are. This is just who they are," because we're having the same conversations year after year. And like I said, I give anyone, I ask somebody to please reach out and say, "Here's why we're gonna be a lot, things are gonna look up for the offense in 2026. Please let me see it because I would love."
The only thing I can honestly say is you cannot have 9 batters completely be miserable at the same
It
time
can't
all
get
night.
any worse, is that what you're saying?
It can't. It just can't. I'm sorry, you can't
I'll
have
go with that. I'll go with that. That'll make me feel a little better. I'll just keep saying it can't get any worse. It can't get, although I kept saying that, all weekend
Hey,
so
all it takes the one thing we figured out, Tommy Lasorda said this best. You play 3 54 game schedules, okay? The first 54 and the last 54 don't matter. It's what you do with the middle 54 that's gonna make or break your season.
that's interesting. That's like, the saying, and forgive me, I don't know who this didn't come from me, but you're always gonna have 60 wins and 60 losses per season. It's
Yep.
the 42 what matters of how you handle it. The only other thing, and again, I'm just gonna pile on one more time here because sometimes it feels good to vent and get the scaries out.
And that's what
Um,
we get to do.
yeah, right. The only thing that's kind of a little concerning is some of these wins are late in the innings, man. They just,
Well, it's
uh,
the cardiac kids all over again.
you know what I mean? It's like the it's just it's not like we're winning 8-2, 7-1, easy. I mean, we're coming back in the ninth inning, getting these two-out rallies, scoring 4 runs with 2 outs, nobody was on,
4
like,
games.
how the hell did that happen? That's not gonna continue to like, it just doesn't continue to happen in real life
Let
like
me
that.
double check this before I 100% quote it, but if I'm correct, we've had 4 games where we have scored at least 8 runs this season, and we've won all of those games. Yep, 4 games, we scored 8 runs.
And we've won all, yeah, well, yeah. Here's another crazy stat. Jack Rill, I'm sorry, Jake Rill, I think he writes for the Orioles, but on MLB.com. Through 22 games, the Orioles have scored 17 total runs, the first, second, and third innings.
Yep,
Their other 70 runs have come in the fourth inning or later. The Orioles are hitting 179, 42 for 235 over the first 3 innings of the games. That's what I mean. Like, sooner or later, you got to start putting pressure on these teams early in the game. You got to start putting up a couple runs early. Make them start pressing.
are
Make
you
them go
ready
to
for
their
this?
bullpen early. Like, that's not going to win you many games playing like that. You're playing with fire, basically.
Was a week ago, I saw a stat that the Orioles have a ERA over 20 after they score in an inning.
I feel like we're playing a drinking game. All right, I got one. You drink now. Like, this is
Right?
just going back and forth. Like, and I feel like this is 2025 all over again. Like, that's what's frustrating. It's not like, oh, well, you saw last year, they're fine.
Yeah, but
Or
see,
well, you saw in 2024, they're fine. Like,
with 2025, you had 29 players, 32 IL stints, over 140 games missed by players who were regular starters.
right.
I'm not one of those guys who normally says injuries were a problem, but they were a problem last year, a huge problem. I'm not saying we would have won more than 70 games last year if we didn't have the injuries we had, but
Well,
we
again, I think it's the guys who
injured.
are available who are still hitting like they were last year.
Yeah.
I think that's the concern. Like, no, 100% I agree with you. You make a valid point. And again, that's something that will start easing the pain a little bit, making me feel a little better. But it's the guys who you're seeing in the lineup in 25. You're seeing in the lineup now. You're seeing in the line like you're seeing the same pattern of guys that you thought were going to be the guy, and it's scary. It's concerning. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think we've scared enough fans now. Hopefully they're still listening to this. But
I
I
know.
think we should end on
My
that
last
note.
podcast up with a couple of them, I'm like, I gotta spin this somehow. I don't want to come on and be negative Nate every week. Yeah.
No,
So
but if we're calling out the reality of a situation, I think fans appreciate that a little bit more. You know, that one fan sitting there, when are the beat writers going to start, touching base on this and this? It's the truth.
no,
You know, I
it's
love,
100%. Yeah. It's not like
I
they just
love
had a
comic
4 game
players.
losing streak and we're going, yep, see, they suck, they stink. This is who they are. Get rid of Albert. No, we're just pointing out facts. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's still a long season.
It is.
We're
Yep.
22 games into the season.
Yep. We're
There's
still right there in
140
the East.
games left.
Yeah. So
So there's a lot of baseball left. Things can happen. Of course, getting healthy is going to be the first big part. Getting Pete Alonso going, I think, is going to be big. If Tyler Ward can stay more consistent, because the one thing I've noticed with Tyler Ward, he's either hitting the ball everywhere or he's not touching anything.
yeah, that is
There's
true.
no in
Yeah.
between with him. I like the guy, and he plays good defense.
Yeah.
His defense, he should be in the field nearly every single day,
Yeah.
unless you're going to put Beavers or Tavares out there for him. That's
1000%
it.
agree. Absolutely. And times like this right now is why I was happy to see Pete come on board because I was hoping a guy like him and hopefully even a guy like Gunner, who I'm hoping is starting to take that veteran role. This is the time when you step up and
Yep.
start rallying your troops and getting these guys into, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that's happening right now, which I'm sure it is, but I'm just hoping that a guy like Pete will
Can
bring in
turn
that
it around
veteran
for
role.
us.
Yeah, start getting the troops rolling.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to stop rolling here because I don't want to scare any fans away.
Right.
I still
I've run
still
out
wanna
of
give a Coke.
antidepressants for the day. I can't yeah, I gotta
That's right.
we gotta stop for
This
the day.
this is just coffee, I swear, it's nothing more.
Well, this is vodka, so, it's just there's nothing I can do about this, man. This is rough. But no, it was fun. Hey, look, like I said, anytime we talk O's, it feels good to vent when you need to vent. It's like if something's bothering you in life, you wanna talk about it. So we're talking about
Amen.
it, you know what I mean?
We're gonna have
So
to do this together because I mean, I know we could continue to keep talking, but it's
I could be here till 10 o'clock tonight just
yeah,
venting and letting out my feelings.
yeah, we might be here for a longer period of time. 10
I
o'clock would
can't.
not be enough time.
No, you're right. Yeah, that would be intermission, right. Yeah, let me get something to drink. I'll be right back. I know.
But do
Sure.
do me a favor one more time, Nate. Let the audience know how they can get a hold of you, find you, and follow you.
Sure,
Because
no, I
I
appreciate
definitely
it.
want them to check out your podcast. It's an amazing podcast. I've
Thanks,
enjoyed
man.
listening to it.
I
So,
appreciate that. Thank you very much. That was nice of you to say that. Yeah, again, full count chaos. There it is, man. Everywhere. Just I always tell people, just Google full count chaos. You'll see it. All the Spotify, Apple, all the good stuff, all the podcast apps. We're on X almost every game,
yep,
hooting and hollering, shouting about this. So we're on there too. Come join us, everyone. And we have a good time on there. And it's therapy. It's Orioles therapy. That's what it is.
that's why I've had a podcast for 4 years. It's therapy. I get to come
Yeah.
talk to everybody.
That's what I always tell people in the beginning, usually my episodes. I'm like, "Thank you for joining my therapy session. I always appreciate it." Yeah. That's, what you need sometimes when you're a sports fan year round. It's a full-time job.
Phew. That's why I keep my hair short.
Yeah, no kidding. I know. I don't have any more hair to pull out. I just wear hats.
That's
Yeah,
right. There you go.
that's
All
fun.
right. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Nate and Full Count Chaos coming on and joining us. This has been a blast. Hopefully, we can do this again, whether it's on yours or on mine again.
Yeah,
We'll get
absolutely.
together and do this again because,
We'll set it up.
like I said, I know we can keep talking for hours.
Easily.
But
Yeah,
yeah, easily. Make sure you all look Nate up, please.
thank you.
Big shout out to the Baltimore Battery because without them, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Without your all support,
Love what you guys are doing over there, by the way. Big fan. So I hope
appreciate
people are
it very
checking you
much.
out as well. You guys are doing good stuff over there.
Appreciate that much. That's what we like to hear. And you can check Baltimore Battery out at thebaltimorebattery.com. Or you can find us on X and TikTok at the Be More Battery. Final Strike is available on X at the Final Strike _, and then I'm available SRJ Heckman on pretty much any social media site out there. So give us a follow. Also want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Advanced Mobility Solutions. Used to be Scooters for Rent. If you're in the Maryland, Delaware area looking for mobility products, please make sure you give them a call. They have mobility scooters, wheelchairs, which are beach, electric, and manual, and reclining lift recliners. Tell them Stephen from the Final Strike sent you. You can reach them at 302-280-6203. And until next time, Birdland, we want to tell you keep rooting for the O's as hard as it may be. Feathers are still there. Keep that beer cold. And until next time, everybody, peace out. Thanks again, Nate.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Oh, that was good. That was fun. Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you. I,
That was
I,
real
I had
fun.
a, I had a blast.
Now that